G'day and welcome to another smashing edition of the McDonald's Ballarat Football Netball League A-grade netball show. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Grace Bibby. What a great round of netball that we had last week, Grace.
Yeah, it was. A couple of big upsets, which we like to see. Keeps everyone on their toes, so looking forward to getting stuck into round 8.
Threw our tips into disarray, Grace, and probably everyone else as well, which is what we want to see. We want to see some unpredictability in this comp.
We love teams proving us wrong in the netball show, don't we?
I reckon they go out there on purpose just to go, well, they've written us off this week, so we are going to go out there and make a statement. So if we can unearth a smoky to win the flag, I reckon we'll give ourselves full credit for that.
Yeah, I reckon we will have to take some credit for it, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, we had a big game. Speaking of the teams proving us wrong, Ballarat took down Redan by 7 goals. There was just something in the water at Ballarat on Saturday. I know there's plenty of supporters around. Drew Petrie kicking winning goals for the senior footy, but it was the netballers that were stealing the show.
Yeah, it certainly was, and I think neither of us tipped Ballarat, but we did say it'd be closer than what everyone expected, so probably the result's not as surprising as what some would think. Redan just caught off guard early in the piece and couldn't fight back. Annie Hills at Ballarat is a superstar young player for those guys, and she sort of gets the job done without raising a sweat, and the hair's still pretty perfect at the end of it, so she does a great job in there for her age and really setting the tone for the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely, and great effort there by Ballarat too, that they led at every change, which is what you want to be doing at this standard of netball, to be able to play 4 quarters. And Redan, it certainly raises question marks on where they're sort of travelling this season. They're sitting in 6th position at the moment. They've got a little bit of a buffer, but they need to be winning those games, particularly when we're going to see a sort of 7 or 8 teams really push for the spot in the top 6. Yeah,
and that's it. It's hard to win games, especially when the competition at the minute is so split. We've got sort of Lake Wendouree, East and Sunbury at the top of the ladder. Really, really hard games for these sort of middle section and lower tier player clubs to get the win there. So for Redan to drop one against Ballarat, it's going to make their push for finals a hell of a lot harder.
Certainly keeps Ballarat's slim finals chances alive, because they are now on equal points with 6th place Redan. So there's 4 teams on 12 points. And only one of them can make the top 6 based on the current format.
Yeah, certainly a lot of that's going to come down to the fixture too, whether you draw a Sunbury towards the back end or whether you draw a Melton and Melton South, one of those guys. Obviously, there's quite a big discrepancy at the minute between our top and our bottom, so the fixture's going to play a huge part in the rest of the season.
Speaking of Melton South, they jumped on the board for their 2nd win of the 2018 season, and they did a magnificent job. I think they finally got that sort of team balance together, something they haven't really had all year.
Yeah, and that's what we've been waiting for from Melton South. We knew that they had good players across the court. It was just a matter of all coming together at once and putting in a 4-quarter effort. And for them to get the win on the weekend's huge for their club. They haven't won since I think it was about round 1 or 2, if my memory serves me correctly. So, yeah, great for them to get a win on the board, and hopefully they can build on that for the rest of the year.
Yeah, certainly a big effort by them, and the Devils will live to fight another day. A game that sort of proved us wrong, given how well the Kangas have been travelling. But Lake Wendouree had to come from behind in the second half to defeat East Point.
Yeah, Lake Wendouree are obviously an outstanding team. They've only dropped that 1 game early, I think, against Ballarat Swans. So for them to beat East, I don't think it's a real surprise to anyone. East have obviously been a powerhouse team in the competition, but so have Lake Wendouree. And Lake Wendouree have got a lot of young talent on the court this season in Ella Bibby and Eleni Hooper. They both went through the goals, but Tasha Dack, what a game from her. I think she shot 14 goals in the 3rd quarter alone. So obviously a huge difference for them, and a great win for Lake Wendouree. And it certainly makes things interesting for them at the top end of the ladder as well, because we do have East Point and Lake Wendouree currently occupying spots 2nd and 3rd. So showing it was a bit of a blockbuster game, and a big one there for the Lakers. We know East Point, they're getting back to some of the premiership glory, and we know Lakers they're really starting to turn around for the best. Yeah, they are starting to really turn it on this season. It'll be interesting to see what happens when they come up against Sunbury in a couple of weeks. Obviously another huge game, but at the moment they'd be happy just to keep getting those wins on the board, and East Point will be forced to bounce back.
Yeah, they definitely will, which will be super, super exciting. We had Bacchus Marsh, probably as predicted, take down Melton.
Yeah, Bacchus Marsh have been a really, really good team so far this season, but we always were a little bit critical of whether they can put 4 quarters together and beat those top-end teams, but it was a really, really good win for them on the weekend. I know only Melton South, Melton, we know how much Melton are struggling at the minute, but good to see that they're still putting the wins on the board, and that win really cements their spot in the top 5 or 4.
Exactly, and the important thing there for the Cobras is that they did jump out to an early lead and maintain that and really pushed on with that for a big win. But a big congratulations to the Melton Football Netball Club, particularly the netballers as well. They wore red on the day to raise awareness and funds for cystic fibrosis. So it was a great day there for the club. While they didn't get the results in the senior footy and A-grade netball, they certainly did a great thing for the community.
Yeah, it is, and it's great to see that these clubs take an opportunity to support different foundations such as the cystic
fibrosis.
So yeah, it's really good that the clubs give back with that, and it's great to see from a league perspective. So well done to the club for that.
Magnificent. And another important game as we get ready to round out our wrap up, we had Sunbury Lions just edge out Sebas. Sebas shot away to a 2-goal lead at quarter time, and then Sunbury Lions, it took them until the last quarter to break away and win that one.
Yeah, it's good for both teams actually. It's good for Sunbury to be pushed, but it's good for Sebastopol to know that they're around the mark, and it's great that, Sunbury obviously come out on top, but Sebastopol take a lot of positives away from a match like that. I know the Cairn sisters, we always speak about them, played really well, and their mid-court and their back end are really starting to gel this season as well, and Sunbury's mid-court with Taryn Munro and the likes are really going strongly.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And for Sebas, they'll definitely want to be playing finals this year. They fall into that bracket of 4 teams fighting for that one spot in the bottom half of the 6, but it only takes one win and that can change the whole season, and we hope we can pick a winner in this upcoming round 2 as we launch ourselves into round 8 of competition. And we'll start off with Bacchus Marsh and Redan.
Yeah, obviously we've already spoken about it. It's a bit of a crossroads for Redan Football Netball Club. If they win here, they keep in touch with that top group, and if they lose, they sort of chance of finals dwindle a little bit further. So I actually think Bacchus Marsh will win this one quite comfortably, Yeendy.
Yeah, I think so too. I think question marks will be put on the lines on how they bounce back from the weekend's loss to Ballarat. Probably not something they expected, although I must admit I probably will go and tip that they will turn it around and upset the apple cart a little bit and really keep in touch. We get their 16th points of the season, which will be fantastic. We got Lake Wendouree and Melton.
Yeah, Lake Wendouree for mine. Can't see anyone beating Lake Wendouree at this stage unless it's Sunbury, and they haven't given us a reason to tip against them yet. So I'll keep backing in the young guns at Lake Wendouree.
Yeah, Melton. They'll just keep plugging away. They're doing it right. They've certainly had a tough season, but the girls are improving with every game. Another intriguing contest, and this is important for the makeup of the top 6. We've got Sebas playing host to Melton South.
Yeah, I think Sebas will get the job done here. It'll be closer than what some might suggest, but it'll be a really good opportunity for both clubs. They're either going to know whether they're in the mix or not in the mix after this weekend. So I think Sebas will win it and keep their finals chance alive, and Melton South might rue some missed opportunities early in the season.
I think Melton South will continue on their run after a very promising win last weekend, ride that wave of confidence and come away with a very valuable win there. I know Alan Watson's got the team up and about, and that'll be fantastic. This is we've got match of the round here. We've got East Point and North Ballarat City. The City side, fresh off the bye, they come up against an East Point side that'll be desperate to atone for their loss on the weekend.
Yeah, it's always a cracking game between these two clubs when they meet. There's a bit of friendly rivalry there from past grand finals experience and that kind of stuff. So I think it'll go down to the wire. I think North Ballarat having fresh legs might help them, but I think I'm going to go with East bouncing back.
Yeah, I haven't found a reason to back against North Ballarat City in recent times. So I know they went down to the Sunbury Lions a few weeks ago in a cracking contest, and I expect them to bounce back, keep that momentum going. Speaking of Sunbury, they've got a very important contest against Ballarat, who are coming to this game fresh off a confidence-boosting win. Yeah,
the confidence will certainly help Ballarat, and whether they can match Sunbury for 4 quarters, that's another story. And for me, Sunbury are just too strong across the court, and they'll account for Ballarat
Yeah.
easily on the weekend.
Absolutely. Now, we've got some exciting games happening on the Sunday, Grace, which I know we've got some of our finest young talent across the region heading down to Melbourne, and there's state pride on the line on this one. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, it certainly is. Our under-13s and our under-17 BFNL elite talent squads are in the Association Champs finals. So they obviously won through in the Ballarat Western Region zones the other week. So it's great to see that they take another step in their young netball careers, and they're another opportunity for them to be talent identified, and whether that means they go on to the state program or not. It's an absolutely outstanding achievement for those girls to even make it to the final day, and I'm sure they'll come up against some of the best on Sunday, and whether they're good enough to match it, we'll wait and see.
It's been a bit of a golden run for some of our younger girls at the moment, particularly with the success that we've had at the recent championships, and obviously over at Ballarat as well. That under-13 group is proving to be one of the best in the state.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they've got a lot of outstanding individuals in that team, but as we know, outstanding individuals don't always make a champion team, and at the minute they're a champion team as well. So full credit to Kelly, Amor and Bree Sharp for the work they've done with the girls throughout the season. We know we selected the squads quite early in the year, so it's given them an opportunity to train together, play together, etc. So they're in great shape at the minute, and hopefully they can get the job done on Sunday.
Absolutely. No doubt when we're sitting here next week talking up the day, no doubt we'll be talking up the success they have, and just them being on the day is a success in itself. Grace, thanks for you, good self, for jumping on board this week, and of course thanks to our friends at McDonald's for all their ongoing support. We look forward to seeing you guys. We look forward to catching up with you next week.
No worries.
Welcome to another edition of the BFNL Football Show. I'm Christian Yeendy.
Huge! And what a huge edition we've got today.
Don't